TAG 49s.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome everybody to my channel. Originally I had planned on doing this with another person. I don't know, for me it's probably a little bit of my insecurities, a little bit of my issues that we're going to talk about today. Nobody's perfect, I'm not perfect, even to this day. I don't plan on anybody being perfect. It's the journey that you have moving forward. If you're trapped, then you're trapped, but only you can get you out of that trapness. So, self-love to me isn't just self-love. Like, I've always loved myself. Like, when I was younger, when I was getting picked on in school, it didn't matter what was going on. I've always loved myself. It's like, of course, I was bullied because of my weight and all that. Some of it was because I didn't have enough money to get nicer clothes or all that. It's the small things that bullies find, and if you feel like you don't fit in because of that, it's that one little sliver off of how much you love yourself because you're too worried about everybody else. So it's like, for me, my steps to self-love isn't just loving yourself. I'll always love myself. There's nothing about love that I've never loved. For me, it's always been the smaller things that no one tells you about. Everyone goes, well, you need to love yourself, yada, yada, yada. They say, I've heard the phrase put in different ways, but for me, it's, how do you expect someone to love you if you don't love yourself? And to me, that one always hit hard because it's like I do love myself. But I wasn't ever fully in love with myself. It's just like when you first meet, your significant other, it's, it's one of those, y'all first met, yada, yada, yada. You might have love for this person, but you don't love them. Time moves on, you love them. As more time goes on, you're in love with them more than just having love for them. Well, self-love is the same way. Everyone says, oh my God, well, how do I fill this void? There's this hole trapped inside me. You fill that hole. What did that person do to you? Whether it's a friend, a partner, someone you work with, a family member. How do you fill that hole that they put? Alright, so think about it. Well, what did they do for you? Did they motivate you? Did they uplift you? Did they give you compliments? Did they do things for you that you can't do for yourself? That you thought? Because that's where that person sends you a text message every morning saying, good morning, how are you? Have a great day. I hope your day is amazing. That person is now removed from your life. Well, how am I going to get that text message every morning that pushes me? You have to do it. And I'm not saying go all full, but it's like when you wake up, if you don't have that person in that spot, let's go back to before you met them. They weren't there. It was before that person. They weren't there. Before that person. Who was there every morning? Okay, so you had a mom or a dad. Some people don't have either. Some people have one or the other, yada, yada, yada. What did they do? They did the same thing. So essentially, you're stuck as a child until. So think about it this way. You wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you say, hello, beautiful, how are you? Did you sleep good? Alright, Well, today is going to suck because you had a bad sleep. But you can do this. You did it yesterday. You did it the day before. You do it tomorrow. Nothing can stop you. That's what you have to do for you every day. That's part of self-love. You have to motivate yourself. You have to push your confidence. If you feel ugly, don't tell yourself you're ugly. Like, it's funny when you joke about it. You know, it's like, let's say you're at school or hanging out with a group of friends and everybody's roasting each other. It's cool if you roast yourself, because if you roast yourself first, they can't roast you, right? But it plays with your head a little bit, because you start roasting yourself, you start believing what you say, because, again, you're you. If you're saying it, it came from in here somewhere. But one trick that I do when I make these jokes, or, you know, you say something that might necessarily not be true. Like, let's say, you know, I'm so fat, I got more rolls than a bakery, or some shit like that. You know, the moment you say that, your brain goes, yeah, I'm fat. But if you, inside your head, say this joke, and then say something positive afterwards. So it's like, you know, you say, it's like, I got more rolls than a bakery, but at least mine sell. Or at least mine move. Or, you know, you have to say something inside your head followed by that negativity to bring back the positivity. Now, roasting yourself is still, you have to be fully loving yourself and fully in control to be able to roast yourself, because if you have any strings or anything out of the way, you're going to play more negativity on yourself. So it's like, maybe avoid that situation. Don't, when people are roasting each other, but, you know, and they'll be like, hey, you want to join in? Just be like, hey, I got some self-confidence issues, or right now's not a good time. You know, people understand when you tell them the truth. Don't make an excuse. Be honest. Because if we're all out hanging out and you say, nah, I really can't do that, or I mean, a reason, I cannot go off of that and go, yeah, don't be a bitch. You know, you can't say that when someone gives you a legitimate answer. But if someone says, you know, I don't want to do it, I don't feel like it. As a friend, you're going to motivate that person to do something. Because if you see them like they don't want to do something, they're feeling down. I mean, it happens to me all the time, because I've got friends that'll be like, hey, you want to go out? I'm like, nah, not really. I don't really want to, go to the bar, because for me, I quit drinking. I don't really do anything. I mean, I smoke, but that's a whole different thing. At the end of the day, you feel lonely. Like, I mean, you can have a partner, you can have friends around you, you can have family around you, and you still feel lonely. It's the same thing as that missing void and missing hole. Let's say you're not in a relationship yet. You're just going along, you have amazing friends, you have awesome family, but you still feel something missing. It's the compassion. Like, if you love yourself, things come to you. Like, everybody told me over the years, do this, do that, lose weight, do this, do that. But everybody was like, you gotta love yourself. I'm like, I do love myself. What do you mean? And it never really fully clicked. And I think some of the people that told me it didn't fully click to them either. At the end of the day, what is the loneliness or this boredness, or what is that trait? What it is it's us. It's our brain just sitting here thinking about what if. The moments that you feel these feelings, listen to music. Find something to occupy your brain so it's not constantly beating itself up. If every time you start to look at your negatives, if you stay moving, if you can't roll it into something positive. If you continue it, or if you continue going forward with what you're doing, meaning, hey, I feel, a little down or something, I might throw on some pop music, or if I'm feeling a little mad, or anything, it's just music. There's music for every emotion. When I'm in a really good mood, I want to hear upbeat stuff. If even when I'm in a sad mood, I want to hear upbeat stuff. It's music's music. It's your therapy. It's like it's hard to explain because not everybody enjoys music the same way as maybe I do, or other musicians, or anybody in general. Some people just it's just them. Everybody's different, so I can't really just say, hey, go pop in a CD, it'll fix your day. If it fixes me, it doesn't mean it's gonna fix you. But let's say you love animals. Some people don't, but I'm going to use this as an example just to give people, one step further. I'm not telling you to adopt 30-something pets. I'm not telling you to be the next cat, lady. Not your cat one, that's a different story. Maybe go to a local zoo, or local petting zoo, or even a pet store. Just go to a pet store and look at the animals. Go to your local shelter. You don't even have to adopt. You can just go see what they have. Just petting the animals can make you feel better. Whatever you love, like when I say whatever you love, that to me is a little different. But whatever your passion is in life, like some people it's cars, some people it's animals, some people it's music, some people it's video games, some people, but that's your passion. I love video games, I love music. I mean, everything I've named I love, but I'm a little different. So when that comes to that, you have, you just have to find what you love. What's your passion? What's the thing you chase? Once you tell yourself what you love, and I mean, some things are harder to achieve, but nothing's impossible. There's not one thing that you can dream about other than flying with some wings and a unicorn and some hooves. That's a lot of plastic surgery, but it's probably not going to happen. There's a lot of weird celebrities, and if they could have some real flying wings, I think they'd already have them. Got a couple good ones out there. But it's their body, if they want to put things on their body, that's them. That's on them. Some things are just, for me, when I wake up every day, I don't look in the mirror and say, what do I want to change? Because I love me. I love how I am. Yes, I've lost weight compared to about a year ago. It's another video. I'll talk about that later. When you're feeling lonely or bored or whatnot, it's just your brain's not thinking about anything, or it's thinking about one specific thing, and you don't want to think about it, so you're trying to think about something else, and you're like, crap, I'm done thinking about this. I don't want to think about this. I'm bored. What I need to do. I don't suggest picking up a cell phone and downloading a video game. I mean, that might help you. That might make you feel a little better. It's a band-aid. It's not a fix. You have to fix yourself. You have to fix you. Once you fix you, everything else is just easier in life. And when I say it's easier just to be you than to be whatever you want to be. Because when I wake up, I don't go, who am I going to be today? What am I going to put on? I wake up and go, I'll throw this on, and who cares? I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what they see in me. I don't care nothing. Because I know who I am. I know my self-worth. I know what I'm worth. I know everything. When it came into pass is, I've always loved myself. I might have lowered my standards because of certain things. You don't have to have high standards, but you need to set standards. You don't need to be like, hey, she walks. Because at the end of the day, you only want one thing. You don't want them forever. You're just wanting them because they're standing there. That's not fair for you. That's not fair for them. Now, if they're what you like, they're your cup of tea, they're beautiful, go for it. But if not, why? Why? I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. Because at the end of the day, your self-worth, you're priceless. There's not $1 amount that you can put on yourself. You can't sell yourself. You're stuck with you till you die. At that point, maybe you can put a money amount on yourself. But you don't get it when you die. So why put money on it? So yeah, I'm priceless. You're priceless. We're all priceless individuals. There's not another me. There might be people that look like me. There might be people that sound like me. But I'm the only me. I'm not going to say it because there's going to be one random person that pops up, looks like me, sounds like me, everything. They're going to be from another country. And I'm just going to be like, well, what's your favorite? Oh. Well, what about? You know what? How you doing? You're my official twin from over there. We're done. So at the end of the day, we're not gonna play with that one, but just going over my notes. I got a pretty good one. The whole everyone talks about you are what you eat, right? So what is eating? You're consuming food, right? Well, if you're around people, you're consuming them. If you hear them, even if you're not paying attention, you're still consuming their energy. If you're around toxic people, you're going to get toxic coming into you. It's going to muddy your vibe up a little bit. It might not affect you today. It might not affect you tomorrow. A couple months from now, you're slowly going to be more and more toxic. So if you can remove the toxicness from you, if it affects you, remove it completely. If you can just push it back and not affect you as much, so be it. Certain things and certain people, you just got to fully remove them. Don't be afraid to remove somebody. If they're toxic, get rid of them. So it's, the whole you are what you eat. If you're bringing around, when I say a beautiful person, I mean someone that's just amazing to talk to, hang out with, everything. If you have someone that's beautiful or anything and they're around you, you'll get those same beautiful vibes. If you're around someone that's lazy or whatnot, you might necessarily get that from them. You're always your own person, so you can always put your foot down and motivate yourself, uplift yourself, give yourself confidence, and tell you not to. But if if you pop back and just are in that one little mood, and you see somebody over there just doing a trait, if you allow it, your brain says it's okay. The moment that you say it's okay, you have to go, alright, it's okay. Now, if it's okay for him to do it, then it's okay for you to do it if you're allowing it. So, you need to not allowing things if you don't like them. If it's not part of you, don't be around it. You know, confidence is one of those, until you have it, you don't know what it is. Like, there's a lot of people that I talk to, and it's just like, you know, because normally I dye my hair, they're like, oh my God, how do you do that? How do you have so much courage to dye your hair and be in public? I could never do that. And it's like, yes, you can. Why can't you? Well, I don't know. It's, how do you do it? And it's like, walk in the bathroom, put it in my hair, wait 30 minutes, wash it out, come in here and say, hey. Oh, yeah, literally. Oh. Well, you know, I'd always wanted to do it. A friend was dyeing their hair, and it just, I decided to do it one color, and it was more of a strawberry blonde. So it made my hair look a little rosy, like rose gold. I thought it was cool. The next month, I decided to go green. That was about mid 2019, beginning of it, kind of. I did it before 20. I got so many compliments. Then I did another color, and then I went back and forth between green and whatnot. I don't know. For me, it's just I'm being me. I like being me. I want to dye my hair. I'm gonna dye my hair. Only reason why it isn't really dyed now is I got a few things that I'm working on, and one of them required not having green hair. But the moment I get that finished, it's going back green. I don't know, for me, green's a fun color. It's not even one of my favorite colors. There's only really one thing that I like. Well, money's yellow. But, I don't know, there's only one thing that I like that's green. So, at the end of the day, I'm not really worried about all of the small little details. One thing that I will add about what day and age we're in the social media day. One thing about loving yourself is you gotta love you. I don't care what that person looks like. I don't care what that person sounds like. I don't care what they look like. They're not me. So if I don't like how I sound and I don't like how I look, I don't love me, right? Well, it kind of is one of those same things. Like, if I see that person and I compare myself to them, I'm going to find all the little small things that's different about me than it's about them. So don't compare yourself to other people, because the moment you compare, you can be amazing. You can be the best photographer, the best musician, the best anything. But the moment you compare yourself to someone else, you're not going to be the best, because you're wanting to be like somebody else. You're not being you. So you need to be you. To love yourself, you have to be you. You have to love you, be you. No matter what anybody says, still be you. Wake up every day, motivate yourself. push yourself to do great things, uplift yourself. Um, the more you do this and the more you get into that I love myself thing, your confidence is going to come up. Um, you're going to walk a little different. You're going to talk a little different because you don't care what anybody's response is. Now, some people say, oh, well, that's just not having a filter. No, I filter myself. 9 times out of 10, I've already thought about what I was going to say about 5 times before I say it. Because I don't want to make sure it's who I am before I say it. So yeah, I filter what I say. Now, you piss me off, you might catch me on off filter. But, for the most part, I love me. I do have a little bit of motivation issues. I procrastinate a little too much, but I'm working on it. Nobody's perfect. I'm not a complete, but if I look at where I was compared to where I am, everybody just says I have so much confidence. Some people, they can't post a video on YouTube or put their music out because they talk themselves out of it. I decided to do it, and there's only one way to fix this. If you're really scared about doing something, just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. Walk in, do it. Because right after you do it, all of that, oh, no, I really can't do it, I don't want to do it, all of that just goes. Because I'm going to tell you, when I first released my music, like when I say first, when I did my very first single, I put it out there. It wasn't perfect. I didn't know how it was going to sound whenever it was played. I'm mixing my own, I'm my own engineer, I master my own, I do everything. I don't know how it's going to sound because I don't have people in my circle to tell me, play it off of these speakers. I mean, I can Google, I can YouTube, I can do so much stuff, but I'm not necessarily going to find what I'm looking for because those people don't share that information. I mean, yeah, you can get a master class or do this or do that, or you can play trial and error and just have fun with it. And that's the route that I went. It's not for everybody. Some people would rather, but I knew that if I waited and this, that, and the other, I was just going to procrastinate more. So I finished it. I got it how I liked it, and I sent it. And then I sat there and questioned myself, like, did it sound right? Or did it do this? Well, it's out. It was a little bit easier to put out, my EP that I followed it up with a month later, and then, it got easier. Recording's easier. I was always scared of the microphone, not because of, the microphone, but I was more scared of not being able to do it or not getting it right. And again, the only way I fixed that was to stand up and just do it. If you're scared of something and you don't do it, you're letting that fear win. You don't need fear in your life. Yeah, of course, you see a snake, you gotta be scared of it. Well, depending on what kind of snake it is. If it's a little green garter snake or a king snake, have at it. Some people, they only like that. That's each their own. But when I say, if you need to remove those fears, I can't do something, or I don't know, or they're all fears. The moment you remove those fears from your life, and you start going, I don't know that I can do this. Every time you start to feel that, if you just look at yourself in the mirror, or just close your eyes and just say, I can do this. I am confident. I am beautiful. No matter what I do, I will succeed with. Now, mind you, certain things might not happen as fast as you want them to. You might not get where you want fast enough. You know, especially when you have, let's say you want to be a photographer or a music engineer or a producer or a beat maker or a rapper or a singer. You want to be any of these any of these special traits that they're skills, but anything that you want to do that's special is you don't go to college for. I mean, you can go to college for certain things. You can still same principle goes to them, but when you're chasing your dreams or whatnot, you can't allow yourself to tell yourself no. Because the moment you tell yourself no and you accept it, you're stuck. So you need to always motivate yourself to keep going. You need to constantly, you start to feel bad, you need to uplift yourself. The moment you start uplifting yourself, giving yourself motivation, pushing yourself, telling yourself you're beautiful, telling yourself that you're amazing, you do this enough and you continue to do this, your confidence is going to raise. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to wake up every day smiling. And you don't need anybody in your life. You don't care who's there, who's not. But guess what? You're going to start carrying yourself different. You're going to talk to people. You're going to be more, open to help people. You're going to be commenting. You're going to be doing things. If you feel like you want to give somebody a compliment, do it. Because what happens if they're having a bad day? Your one little compliment might make their day better. Same thing goes for you. When you receive a compliment, you feel great, right? When you don't feel great and you don't get a compliment yourself. Tell yourself how great you are. It doesn't matter how bad you're doing. Always tell yourself you're doing good. Always tell yourself to do better. Always continue yourself, because eventually it's going to click and it's just going to be there, and you're just going to be like, why is all this crap around me? I need to clean. I need to remove all this toxicness around me. I need to get rid of all this. Because you're wanting better for you. You're raising your worth. You're setting standards. All because you're telling yourself you love yourself. For me, I've fought with weight for 30 years. And me finally loving myself and not caring about everything else other than me. I will say I took a break from music, which kind of led me down a destructive depression-ish path. And when I say destructive, it's me being anti-loving to myself, because I love music. So when I say, hey, I need to do this, I need to put this on the back burner, or I need to do this, I need to wait, my body doesn't understand, because it's like, I love this, why can't I do it? But that's been hard for me. But the more I loved myself and did things, people started coming towards me and radiating towards me. It's kind of how I met my girlfriend, but that's beside the point. The moment you love you, other people will love you. Because you're no longer looking for love. You're no longer wondering who's going to love me, because it's like, who's going to love me? Me. I love me. I love me every day. I'm going to love me today. I'm going to love me tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I love me. Because I love me. I really do. I always loved me. I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care how big I was. Some of those things matter, because I've always thought, like, I'm ugly, how do I get a girl? Can't get a girl, can't have kids to press on my legacy. But none of that matters when you love yourself. Because at the end of the day, I don't ever have kids. I can adopt. I can do anything. There's not limitations in life. For everything that you say I can't, there is an answer that says you can. I can't do this because I don't have enough money. Alright, it's cool. You ain't got the money to do this. What can we do to earn a little bit of money? Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? You gotta find something you can do to get to where you need to be. I've probably been on here a little too long. Let's see. That was no saying. But at the end of the day, you just have to remember, you are for you. Only you can have your best interests. So, just do me a favor. Start telling yourself every morning that you love yourself. You're going to do great today. And then anytime you start to feel down, motivate yourself, uplift yourself. Anytime that you expected somebody else to do it for you, do it yourself. Don't use somebody else as a crutch, because you'll get dependent on it. If you're dependent on you telling you you love you and motivating yourself, when that special someone finally comes into your life, you're not a wreck. You're amazing. You love yourself. You're beautiful. Everything is perfect about your self-love and self-worth, that you will see that person when they finally are there, and they'll just feel completely different. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just I found, a really nice person and it just clicked, or it's the same thing of just, I love me. They don't have to love me, but because they love me and I love me, it's like having double the love. So you're not just dependent on that one source of love to make yourself feel good, because you make yourself feel good. You love you every day. That's the biggest thing. You have to love you. You have to tell yourself that you can do things, push yourself to do things, and just strive to be great. If you can do that, you'll love yourself. And if you love yourself, everybody else will love you. The more you love yourself, the easier life will be. Don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about other people's stuff. Don't worry about their dramas. Worry about you and making you happy. Just be you, love you, and have a great day.